Hold on to your seats because this isn't your average messy breakup. What happens when love, court orders, and reality TV collide in a perfect storm of chaos? Tricia thought she'd finally closed the door on her whirlwind divorce with Marquez. But instead, the courtroom dropped a bomb so wild it makes daytime TV look like a preschool puppet show. Ken, her longtime partner, isn't just facing heartbreak, he's staring down a legal eviction notice. And yes, it comes with a hard deadline. Meanwhile, the kids? Completely banned from the cameras, leaving producers scrambling and fans gasping. How did a divorce spiral into a full-blown reality show nightmare? Who's really calling the shots? And how far will Tricia go to protect her secrets while the courts, the ex, and the public circle like vultures? Stick around because by the end of this, you'll be questioning everything you thought you knew about love, loyalty, and legal loopholes in Huntsville's hottest family drama. Tricia's life had officially turned into a headline no one could ignore. A story so chaotic it made the wildest reality TV moments look tame. The divorce with Marquez was supposed to be the end, the closure after years of drama. But instead, it became the starting gun for a new kind of chaos that nobody saw coming. Ken, her longtime partner, thought he was stepping into stability, into a role of steady love and support. But the court had other ideas. He was facing a legal eviction notice, a hard deadline that left no room for negotiation. By 5 p.m. on August 25th, he either had to be wearing a ring or packing up and leaving. Tricia, meanwhile, remained perfectly composed, posting her curated life online, sipping wine, and smiling like everything was under control. Even though behind the closed doors of her home, the tension was suffocating. Marquez was another storm entirely, a man whose reputation for chaos was well earned. Now limited to supervised visits and 3 consecutive clean drug tests before he could see his daughter overnight. The court's conditions were precise, leaving no wiggle room. And sources whispered about the high stakes he faced with every drug test, turning something routine into a public spectacle. Ken's situation was equally tense. As a truck driver constantly on the move, he tried to argue he was just visiting. But leaving his clothes, stocking the fridge, and sleeping over regularly counted as residence under the law. Social media exploded when the court order leaked, with fans debating the fairness of the rules and posting memes comparing his predicament to the plot of a bad reality show. Meanwhile, Tricia's daughter was banned entirely from filming, leaving producers scrambling and fans questioning who would fill the drama void. Behind the scenes, the tension between Ken and Tricia grew, arguments escalating as Ken demanded clarity. He had always been steady and reliable, but Tricia's hesitation to commit put him in a position where he had to confront the uncomfortable truth that love alone might not be enough to secure his place. Marquez, quietly maneuvering, secured a rental property with utilities in his name, practicing for the final drug test while showing up clean and composed, ready to regain influence over custody dynamics. Tricia juggling court orders, Ken's presence, and her own indecision, became a master of appearances, posting brunch photos and inspirational captions to maintain control while the cracks in her facade became increasingly visible. Ken finally reached his limit, leaving a note that read, "You've had my heart, but I need to know you want it. I can't be your maybe anymore." And Tricia's response was silence, a pause heavier than any argument could have been. The tension intensified as Marquez passed his final drug test. Overnight visits reinstated, and the custody balance shifted yet again, leaving Tricia's sense of stability hanging by a thread. The line between love, legality, and reality TV blurred completely, trapping everyone in a storm of uncertainty. Tricia stood on her porch, phone in hand, daughter asleep, cameras off. Caught in a whirlwind she could neither control nor escape. A life where every choice was scrutinized, every move had consequences, and the clock ticked relentlessly toward the next crisis. The world was watching, the stakes were higher than ever, and one wrong decision threatened to collapse everything she had built, leaving chaos as the only certainty. The tension didn't stop with Ken's departure. It only intensified as Tricia tried to navigate the legal labyrinth while keeping her public image intact. Every move scrutinized by the court, the media, and local gossip alike. Marquez was now a looming presence, methodically checking off the court's requirements. Each clean drug test and utility bill submission fueling speculation that he might regain overnight visits. A victory that would shift the custody balance and put Tricia on the defensive once more. Friends close to the situation claimed that he had hired a coach to manage his appearance and demeanor for the court, ensuring that every detail, from his posture to his smile, projected the perfect image of a responsible father. Meanwhile, Tricia's life continued to be a delicate performance. Brunches posted with flawless captions, her signature glass of wine always in frame, all while juggling a daughter banned from filming and a partner who had finally walked away. Locals whispered about new faces showing up around her, possible replacements, or just distractions, as producers and fans tried to fill the void left by the child's absence from the cameras, speculating endlessly about who might enter this tangled drama next. Social media became a battlefield of theories and opinions, with screenshots of court orders, leaked texts, and cryptic posts dissected by every self-proclaimed expert in town. Some declaring Tricia manipulative, others suggesting that Ken had been a fool for sticking around so long. Behind the scenes, Tricia was said to be under immense pressure, constantly making strategic decisions about what to reveal, what to hide, and how to balance the legal demands with the need to maintain her lifestyle and public image. Ken's absence left her vulnerable, and sources hinted that she was relying heavily on friends and insiders to navigate the minefield. Each piece of advice potentially as dangerous as the court's next ruling. At the same time, Marquez was not just fighting for visitation rights. He was fighting to regain relevance, to show that he could rise from his past mistakes and assert control in a scenario where he had been sidelined for too long. Rumors circulated that he was leveraging connections, reaching out to media insiders, and using any available tactic to maximize his standing before the court, creating a tense backdrop where every decision Tricia made could be challenged or exploited. The daughter's removal from filming shifted the show's narrative completely, forcing producers to scramble for new content while keeping the audience invested, turning a private custody battle into a public spectacle. Observers noted that Tricia's calm demeanor was a mask, her carefully timed posts and rehearsed smiles hiding the fact that she was constantly strategizing, balancing court deadlines, Ken's potential return, and Marquez's looming victories. Even mundane activities became high-stakes actions, whether she was running errands, answering texts, or posting photos, as every detail could be scrutinized in the court of public opinion. Local sources claimed that tension at home had escalated to the point where arguments became frequent and intense. Tricia questioning Ken's commitment while simultaneously navigating legal restrictions that limited her freedom in her own house. Ken, meanwhile, had retreated into silence, refusing to chase answers, observing Tricia's choices from the distance of his truck routes, realizing that the love he had invested was being weighed against the strict letter of court orders and Tricia's hesitation to make permanent commitments. As the final drug test results approached, speculation reached a fever pitch, with townspeople and online fans alike predicting the consequences for Tricia, Ken, and Marquez. Everyone waiting for the moment when one move would tip the entire situation into irreversible chaos. Tricia's porch became her stage, her phone, her lifeline, while the courts, the media, and the public circled like predators sensing opportunity, knowing that one wrong action could unleash a cascade of drama that would dominate conversations for weeks. Every choice was loaded with risk, every interaction with potential fallout. And the pressure of balancing love, law, and image created a tension so thick it was almost palpable, leaving Tricia trapped in a relentless whirlwind of expectations, fear, and public scrutiny that left her wondering if any decision could truly bring peace or if the storm was only getting started. By the time the final drug test results came in, the entire dynamic had shifted once again, and Tricia found herself standing at the center of a storm that refused to calm. Marquez now fully eligible for overnight visits and legally able to challenge her control. Each court date bringing new layers of tension and uncertainty that seemed almost impossible to navigate. Ken, having retreated into the background, was no longer the quiet presence he once was. His patience exhausted and his love tempered by the stark realization that affection alone could not override the relentless structure of legal mandates and Tricia's hesitation to commit fully, leaving him to observe from the sidelines as the court and public scrutiny continued to shape the rules of their lives. Rumors and whispers spread through Huntsville faster than any official announcement, fueled by neighbors, social media, and unnamed sources who claimed to know the intimate details of Tricia's private struggles. Each story adding to the growing spectacle as the public debated endlessly about her motives, her loyalty, and her ability to protect her daughter while maintaining control of the narrative. Behind the scenes, producers scrambled to adjust the storyline of the reality show, grappling with the absence of the child and the shifting allegiances, searching for ways to maintain viewer interest in a saga that had become more about legal maneuvering and public perception than family bonding, with each episode reflecting the increasingly complicated web of rules, deadlines, and personal conflicts that now define Tricia's world. Tricia herself continued to present a carefully curated image, her posts timed to perfection, her smiles rehearsed, her captions inspirational, all while dealing with the gnawing anxiety of knowing that every action, every word, every pause could be dissected by Marquez, the courts, and an audience eager for scandal, creating a pressure cooker environment where private life and public performance merged into a single, relentless challenge. Local insiders claimed that arguments between Tricia and Ken had become a constant, fueled not only by personal frustrations but by the weight of external expectations, deadlines, and the ever-present possibility that Marquez could exploit any misstep, turning minor disagreements into potential legal leverage. While Tricia worked tirelessly to maintain the delicate balance of custody arrangements, personal relationships, and public persona, the daughter's removal from the cameras added an unexpected layer of complexity, as her absence left a void both emotionally and narratively, forcing Tricia to navigate her responsibilities as a parent without the mediating presence of media attention, and compelling producers to rethink storylines, potentially bringing in new characters connected to Marquez or other local figures to maintain audience engagement, further complicating the personal dynamics at play. Every day became a calculated negotiation, a careful dance between compliance, strategy, and emotional endurance, with Tricia weighing each decision against potential fallout while Ken wrestled with his desire for clarity and permanence, questioning whether his loyalty had been rewarded or whether the system of rules and deadlines had rendered him powerless despite his years of support and devotion. As Marquez regained footing, the town buzzed with speculation about what would happen next. Every interaction, every social media post, every public appearance analyzed for hints, clues, and signals that might indicate the next shift in power, leaving Tricia in a constant state of vigilance, aware that any lapse could cascade into another round of conflict, court hearings, and public scrutiny. The pressure was relentless, and Tricia's carefully maintained composure sometimes faltered, visible only to the most observant onlookers. In a hand that trembled slightly while holding her phone, a delayed smile, or a pause too long in conversation. Small cracks that hinted at the immense strain of balancing love, legality, and public performance, all while protecting her daughter and attempting to assert control in a reality that had grown increasingly uncontrollable. Every moment was a test of endurance, every choice a gamble, and Tricia's world had become a constant negotiation between the private desire for stability and the public expectation of drama, leaving her in a state where clarity was elusive and certainty almost impossible. The clock ticking relentlessly, the eyes of the court and community unblinking, as she faced a reality where one wrong move could unravel everything she had fought to maintain. The drama surrounding Tricia, Ken and Marquez isn't just a story, it's a window into how love, law, and public scrutiny collide in ways that can turn even the most personal moments into full-blown spectacles. But here's the question for you. If you were in Tricia's shoes, would you risk everything for love, Or play it safe and follow the rules to the letter? Could Ken have done anything differently? Or was he always set up to be the maybe in someone else's story? And Marquez, now back in the game, is he truly seeking redemption or just playing for revenge and relevance? The answers aren't simple, and that's exactly why the world can't stop watching. We want to hear your take. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know who you think is really winning this high-stakes game, and don't hold back. If you're addicted to unraveling scandals, following the twists, and uncovering the drama behind closed doors, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because every twist, every legal maneuver, and every shocking revelation in Tricia's saga is coming fast. And you won't want to miss a single moment of what's shaping up to be one of the most explosive reality show stories of the year.